So I've talked about this upcoming show from Kurt Sutter a few times. It's a Netflix Western series called The Abandons that he was tapped for, and it got ordered to a series last year, I think. Not even saying here in the article, it says October 2022. Yeah, so it's been progressing. He's writing, producing, show running. It's the first time since the early seasons of the Mayan MC. If you've never watched any of Kurt Sutter's shows, I highly recommend you do. Many people are familiar with Sons of Anarchy. He went from there into doing the Mayans MC. There's also The Bastard Executioner, which unfortunately got canceled after one season, but was still a very good show for what it was, a one season run of just something that was really cool and different. One of the things I love about Kurt Sutter is he writes realistic characters. Sometimes they can be a little over the top, but that's part of their charm. That's part of what makes them work. And I think that's what makes them entertaining, more importantly. When you are coming at it from the perspective of a writer, you need some normalcy there to bring that element of relatability to the character, but you also need something that makes them a little bit over the top. In tabletop terms, we would call it PC status, player character status. It's that thing that sets you apart from being just a generic NPC. It's the extra charisma, the extra psychopathic switch. It's the extra strength, the extra dexterity. It's that little something. And Kurt Sutter is very good at creating cool characters. Now, this popped up. He literally shared it on his Facebook feed. Sutter did last night as I was going to bed. I woke up at like 12 o'clock at midnight tonight because Chris and I couldn't sleep. Cats were making noise, and I had insomnia, so I'm scrolling, making pancakes, and I'm like, "Ooh, Kurt just shared this. Lena Headey has been tapped to star in this upcoming Western show as the matriarch of the family." Now, I think this is cool news in and of itself because Lena Headey is an amazing actress who I've loved in everything she's done. But here's why I think she's going to absolutely slay it in this upcoming role. I need to drink coffee. Let me drink this and then we'll get back to it. So the role that she's playing is kind of psychopathic if you read through it. She's going to play Fiona, described as a strong, devout matriarch who, unable to have her own children, took in 4 orphans to create her own family. Driven by a higher purpose and a strong willed Irish temper, her faith and her love for her family trump all. Now, that to me describes her Game of Thrones character a little bit, just a little bit, because one of the things that her character in Game of Thrones was all about was the protective nature of her family and her father, her brother, and her son up until a certain degree, but then, things went off the rails. But she was willing to do anything, anything. Cersei Lannister was a psychotic character that Lena Headey was able to transform from the pages of George R. R. Martin's books into something that on screen was detestable. I mean, you loved to hate her because she was so ruthless and corrupt and nasty. And we don't know that that's necessarily the case with the character of Fiona for this upcoming Western show, but the description describes some elements of Cersei Lannister in that she's a matriarch who has a higher purpose, a strong-willed temper, and her faith and love for family trump all. So those elements in the right combination absolutely describe Cersei Lannister, and that's something that has me really, really excited because we know that we know that she can play that. We know that she can pull that off. And if we're playing a Western type scenario, we've already had descriptions of the show from before in that it's going to be a very I honestly looked at it and said, "Oh, this sounds like Sons of Anarchy in a Western place with a slightly different story," because we're going to be dealing with these 4 orphan children and their band of merry men, and whatever Kurt decides to throw away. Now, we're only getting 10 episodes for the first season. We don't know if it's going to go beyond that or if it's going to get canceled. But honestly, I don't think I've ever watched a Kurt Sutter show that I didn't like. Even the ones that got canceled, I've loved the shows that he does. So I'm really excited about this. The Abandons was ordered at Netflix to a series order in October of 2022. The official series description is, as a group of diverse outlier families pursue their manifest destiny in 1850s Oregon, a corrupt force of wealth and power coveting their land tries to force them out. These abandoned souls, the kind of lost souls living on the fringe of society, unite their tribes to form a family and fight back. In this bloody process, justice is stretched beyond the boundaries of the law. So we definitely have a religious element here because they're talking about manifest destiny and going out west, and we get the description of Fiona as being someone who is driven by a higher purpose, a strong, devout matriarch. So someone who's definitely got that religious switch flipped on in their brain, dealing with corrupt people who are trying to steal their land. Now I know some people just go, oh, there's elements of like Yellowstone, all this. So here's if you've never watched the movie Open Range, Kevin Costner directed it. It's with Kevin Costner and Robert Duvall. A brilliant, brilliant movie. Diego Luna's in it as well. It's just a really, really great film. I've probably seen it 4 or 5 times over the years. But one of the elements of that show as well is the corrupt land baron, the corrupt guys who will do anything to steal your land or steal your cattle. And back in the day when there wasn't a lot of law enforcement, and it was literally the wild, wild west. He who had the gold and the guns could very much get away with whatever they want and could establish policy, could have a corrupt lawman in town that was working for them. Deadwood, another great. Oh my God, Deadwood! I should totally go back and rewatch Deadwood. I've seen it through twice, once by myself, once with Chris. I could totally watch it again. Swearingen, man. That's where Chris learned the word cocksucker. That was so awesome. Oh, I'll never forget that. Anyway, we have great shows which show this element of corrupt landowners, gold owners, miners, so on and so forth, who are willing to come in and they have enough money to take what they want. And it sounds like we're going to have that component going on here. And with these, as they say, lost souls living on the fringe of society, uniting their tribes to form a family and fight back, with justice being stretched beyond the boundaries of the law. That's really, really cool. Lena Headey is most known for Cersei Lannister, where she earned 5 Emmy nominations. She also starred in 300 as the wife of Leonidas. She starred in Dread with, why am I blanking on his name? He's from The Boys. He also played Aemir, the New Zealand actor. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Can't remember his name. Anyway, Pride and Prejudice Zombies, as well as Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles, which honestly didn't get enough of a run. It was a good enough show. It wasn't a great show. It was a good show, though. She says she's also set to appear in upcoming projects like White House Plumbers and HBO. Currently got a 10-episode order. Kurt Sutter is creating the show, serving as showrunner and executive producer. Excuse me, under his Sutter Inc. production banner. Emmy Grinwis also serving as executive producer. Steven Sturgick as director and executive producer, while Otto Bathurst will direct the first episode and executive produce. I'm stoked about this. I think this is the first piece of casting news we've got about the show. Like, pretty sure this is the first cast member that's been put in here, which is great because she'll bring more people to the table. So anyway, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Hopefully you're excited for this show like I am. I think it's going to be great. Let me know in the comments below if you like Kurt Sutter's other work, if you've heard about this show, what you're looking forward to. If you can support, please do. Super chats, super thanks, memberships here on YouTube, memberships at the Patreon page. We have a Discord if you want to come hang out with us, game with us, and so on and so forth. Until next time, stay safe, everybody. Happy viewing.